This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. William LaChasse has been creating unique photographic images since he was 6 years old. His work at ad agencies for clients such as Cadillac, Airwick, Sunbeam, Old Milwaukee Beer, Shakey's Pizza, and many others has broken boundaries and created amazing ad campaigns. He is an expert at digital imagery. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
When you took your first picture when you were 6.
Yeah.
What is it that decided not just to mess around with cameras, but turn pro? What was that turning moment?
I mean, between 6 and whenever? Well,
The 20 that you are now.
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
before you answer that, what camera was that when you took the first picture at 6?
it was a 2 1/4 Argo Flex that was a gift to my parents when they got married.
Argo Flex?
It's kind of like an
Let
American
me Google
version.
that.
Go, yeah,
What
do
the
it.
heck was an Argo Flex?
Oh, yeah, it's twin lens reflex.
Can we do this in
where the two
post-production?
lenses are above each other?
Like a Rolly.
See, if Mike was...
Oh, one of those. Oh, I had one of those. Yeah, here they are.
Oh,
It's like a Rolleiflex.
Oh, you remember now?
Yeah, it was like a Rolleiflex. Yeah, absolutely. So you look down at like this.
Yeah, to look down like that, and they kept it in the linen closet, and I climbed up there and I took it out, and I ran across the street to Dr. Wilkinson's yard, and he had a big front yard with a big lawn and a lot of sprinklers that were always leaking, and I always noticed there were bees on those, so I looked through there, and then I thought, wait a minute, I didn't know what parallax correction was, but I thought, well, I know I'm looking through this top lens, but I know the picture's being taken by the bottom lens, so I rearranged it.
Now, you're seeing the picture backwards, right? When
and
you look
backwards,
down,
yeah. But at such a close range, you know that the parallax is not going to correct on a camera like that. So I knew to re-aim the camera, and I got the picture. It's somewhere. I think I still have it. The
Really?
negative
And
somewhere.
that was it?
Yeah, I shot like 2 or 3.
But then what turned you pro?
That B shot.
My brother made
That
me
B
do
shot
it.
would turn me pro.
Yeah. I got some cool ones the other day, actually.
Of bees?
My brother, yeah, bees.
Cool.
We have sunflowers in the front yard, so I
Michael.
saw some. They're on my phone, actually. That's awful.
So you got B shots with your phone?
Yeah, I did. Suzanne can find it right there.
So 6 years old, back to the iPhone with B
I'm
shots.
just sitting here. Don't mind me. Just keep talking about
Come on,
bees.
that's awesome.
Well, I'll go to when I really got interested was we went on a trip back east. Went to Washington D.C. and New York and Vermont to visit my aunt and everything.
Just twist your mic closer to you.
Oh,
There you go.
nice mic.
Yeah, it is. That's why we want to twist it closer to you.
Okay. Well, anyway, we went on this trip, and my brother, my oldest brother, took all the pictures because he was a control guy or something. He's now a police chief. Anyway, we got back, and nobody liked the pictures. You know, they were all just not right. And I'm 4 years younger, and I'm looking at them going, yeah, those really suck, you know. So I know I can do better than that. I looked at everything over and over and over again. What could I do better? What could I do better? Figured it out. And then got into junior high school, took photo class in the summer, and went on to high school and did that. I won some competitions for commercial photography at L.A. City College. Used to do a contest, and I won it 2 years in a row.
Oh, you went to LA City College?
No, I didn't know, but the city college had the competitions for the high schools.
Oh.
And so I submitted for 2 years in a row and won on the commercial thing.
What year was this? Because LA City
60
College did a lot of good stuff, especially in video and film.
Yeah, this was 68, 69.
Yeah, they were way ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Was it the lighting that appealed to you? Was it the composition? Was it being able to work with models and stage it? Was it the result of the photography? What is it that captures your attention?
It was more like a communication thing came first. Like, why do you take a picture? Because somebody else is going to see it, and you want to do something for that person or to that person. So I kind of was interested in that area of it, and with that comes, well, maybe it needs to be positioned a certain way, or wait a minute, if I put a light here or a light there, it shows something about that thing, whatever I'm shooting. And so that was the focus.
I've
of
had a
what I was
chance to
doing.
see some of your commercial work, and we're going to show some examples in a minute. But to do a commercial requires an incredible degree of control over everything in the frame.
Right.
Do you go in knowing what you want the shot to look like, or does it evolve over time as you're photographing and you just discover it in the lens?
90% of the time, I won't even touch a camera until I figure out what it's going to look like in the end.
Really?
Yeah.
In terms of,
Even to lighting.
are you drawing sketches of what you want it to do, or what are you thinking about?
No, I just run it through my mind all I can. And then the day of the shoot or the day before the shoot, when you're getting equipment together, you're picking the equipment on what you're going to use, on how you perceive your shot and the technique and the lighting and all that.
So is a lot of this just based on what you want to do? There's not a lot of pre-production meetings and storyboarding? And,
well, if you're talking like
or just
for
depends.
advertising,
Okay.
that's a different thing. They like to have more control, and sometimes way too much, and they think they know what they're talking about, and they haven't got a clue. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
See, I already know what I'm going to do, and sometimes I have to argue with them to do the right thing, and sometimes that's impossible. One of the most important things in commercial photography is when you have that first meeting, you got to ask a lot of questions. You know, what are you manufacturing? Well, let's say it's
A car. We'll use a car because we've got
Okay.
examples of that.
all right. Well, not much of that photography going on nowadays, but okay. So it's a car. So it's pretty much obvious the demographic, who's buying that car, what area, the cost of it, the image they're trying to create. You have to know all these things. And I'm actually, when I'm in these meetings, I usually ask the owner of the company or the head guy. I usually try to ask him, I want to talk to your sales guys. I want
Sales
to know.
guys.
Yeah. See, they're the guys out selling those things. They know what they need to push them out. Okay. So that's the most important thing in selling anything. Talk to the sales guy. He goes, well, yeah, I know if we had this or we had that, or, if I could show a certain thing, I know I could sell it. I could sell more of these things, whether it's a car or a shirt or a salt shaker.
Let's talk about the cars and see if we can switch over to some car images.
Okay.
For instance, here we've got a behind the scenes of you shooting. What are we doing here? What's going on?
Okay, that shot was for Community Chevrolet in Burbank, and that's a Camaro. And George Barris was commissioned to customize the car, and they needed these shots for some kind of promotion. So I didn't even talk to the Chevy people about this. It was George Barris, because he designed the car to give it a certain look that the company wanted, Community Chevrolet, that they wanted.
Now, are you using special lights? Because cars are notorious for speculars and having hot spots on
Yeah,
them.
they are. This was kind of a quickie job, and it was at a studio in Glendale or Burbank. I don't remember. They just had me come down there. And I had some strobes I brought with me, and I also had some tungsten light. I mixed it, believe it or not. And I was particular where I placed the lights to avoid the speculars that I didn't want. And
Let's show you the final result. Let's go to the next shot. Now that is amazing. How much of that is in the camera and how much of that is Photoshop?
well, I knocked the car out and put in my own background. I designed that. I like to do that white-black blur thing. It's just kind of one of the things I like to do. But there wasn't much work to do on the car itself because of the way I lit it. Lighting is extremely important. So basically it was a knockout job, and making sure the tonality was proper throughout the highlights, just so it looked normal.
Let's take a look at the next one.
That's the exact same car.
And you just changed the color?
Just. Yeah. Yeah, George.
You know what's interesting about that is I know a couple of guys in advertising. It says a lot of the car commercials that we see on television. He says when you see those cars, they're not real cars. They're rendered cars. They're CGI cars in those television commercials.
Well, let's look at. Go ahead, Mike.
You know, it's what is real and what is not.
Well, let's show you one that is a little bit different. That's clearly a CGI
That's probably,
car.
Okay, that was
that's
one of
probably real.
That's a Lincoln.
Looks real to me.
I think it was 1933 Lincoln. And at the time I worked at the ad agency when I was a kid. I was like 21, 20 when I started there. And I worked a number of years there. We had an office on Wilshire. We had the whole penthouse. That was like a big deal in those days. And my boss collected classic cars.
Oh, wow.
And he had a number of Duesenbergs and you name it, I've driven it.
That's not a Duesenberg, is it?
No, that's a Lincoln. I think it was a 33 Lincoln dual cowl Phaeton limo or something kind of name like that. And I used to take these cars and just go out with them and shoot them. Today, nobody would let you touch one of those. That's a museum.
What is that background? Looks like Arcadia or something like that.
Nope. Yeah, the police came on that one too. That was up Stadium Way.
Stadium
in L.A.
Elysian Park,
Stadium.
that kind of Elysian Park?
I want to talk about lighting for a second, because lighting is important to you.
Yep.
When you're getting lights, do you care what the instrument is, or do you care more about what you put in front of the instrument, such as gels or other material?
What I put in front of it, I don't think it matters much what kind of equipment you use or what brand. I mean, there's some good stuff for certain things, but if you know what you need for your end result, you just make that thing work.
What do you put in front of a light?
I have a roll of stainless steel screen like you would use in your house, but it's stainless steel. So it's good with the heat. And I make my own cutters out of that. And then I use, like Roscoe gels or some diffusion, Well,
let's take a look at a couple of examples. We've got Suzanne here. How are we lighting that?
You're going to love this. See that light next to her? We were using that one as a prop.
Yeah.
Those lights were used on Gone with the Wind, according to the old guy that gave them to me. I knew this old cinema photographer. He's passed away, but his name was Pete Callion, and he was incredible. And he had all this equipment. He had cranes. He offered me cranes. Hey, you can have that crane for $500.
Really?
And I go, where am I going to put that? I had the money.
In the garage?
Are we lighting her with strobes? You lighting her with just soft lights?
I lit her with the other ones.
Wow.
This is a unique shot. I thought, I kind of want to go for that 40s, 50s, little bit of,
Is this a digital
Rembrandt-ish
shot? Is this a
shot
film?
with this camera
With
right
that
here.
camera right there?
Right here.
What lens? With that lens?
No, I use the 85-1.2.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at the next Suzanne picture. A different look.
Is it? Is that?
Yep.
That's a little
We
dark.
changed it a little.
Yeah, a little dark.
Oh, yeah, there's one there. I desaturated it in Photoshop, just playing around, giving it that older look. Is that the desaturated?
No, desaturated was first one.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Okay, let's go to the third one. We'll find one.
Just another pose.
Again, soft light with gel in front of the lens of the light.
Well, I had one stage light. It was about a 750 watt, right behind the camera, way behind the camera with some diffusion, just for a fill. And then my key light obviously was in the upper left hand to cast that like Rembrandt type lighting shadow. It's not quite Rembrandt because she moved her head.
How are you lighting the set?
You're going to laugh. We draped the background with some black, as you can see.
Yeah.
But it was so black. It was black. So I took, rather than pull out another big heavy light, I took a clamp light like you would buy at a hardware store.
Yeah.
and I put a 100-watt bulb in it, and it's just real close to the background.
It's a beautiful shot.
Bill, for people that want to know the stuff that you're doing, do you have a website that they can go to see more?
Yeah, but don't go on there today. It'll probably be back up over the weekend.
Yeah, somebody said there they can't get on it.
But if they went after the weekend, what website could they go to?
I have several. I'll go to WM, like William,
Yeah.
LaChasse, LaChasse
.com.
.com.
And the Bill LaChasse himself is the one you've been listening to. Bill, thanks for joining us today. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.